thought I'd start with just a little bit of information about who we are. You've probably never heard of Binary Forge. Glenn, who's just over there, and I formed Binary Forge from a company called Harvard Technology. I can already see one alumni as well in the room. We actually didn't start trading until April this year because Harvard Technology went into administration, unfortunately. Glenn and I, really this is about why I can stand up here and I've got the chops to talk about this sort of stuff really. Glenn and I led teams at Harvard Technology that developed and built a number of systems for distributed devices, let's say. So one of them was a street lighting system which now controls and manages, maintains almost about 500,000 devices around the world. Or streetlights, I guess I should call them really, because they're not just devices, are they? It gives you some context really. And we, in the breakup of Harvard, we bought the rights for a system called iNut, which we rebranded as Lightforge, which is similar, but it's for internal lighting. So not just lighting, but switches, sensors for occupancy and for daylight harvesting. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the longevity of a building, really, I guess, and what you can do, or some choices, some desires, some decisions you can make that will allow you to use or allow you to select technologies that give you a little bit longer in a building, let's say. So, the quick figure here of 60 to 120 years for any building is probably a little bit conservative. It obviously depends on the actual building that we're talking about. But really the point is that throughout the lifetime of a building, it's going to get renovated, it's going to get refurbished, and there's no technology at the moment that's going to last for the entire lifetime of a building, right? Oh, we've gone backwards. And even then, a building isn't generally demolished or built, a new building isn't built on the side of an old one because of structural problems. It's because of changing market pressures. So the current building's in a particular place where there's increased rents, and so therefore a new owner can knock a building down and build up a new one that is better suited for the area, or it's no longer viable to maintain it. It's better to build a new one, regardless of whether you are building a new building or whether you're renovating and refurbishing a building. Then there's technology is going to form a part of your decision for what goes into the new building or what goes into the new renovation and refurbishment. Now, it's unlikely that, in fact, I'd challenge you to find any one system that delivers everything that you want in a all singing, all dancing smart building, really. So, for any of those systems that you're going to put in, whether it be for air quality monitoring, whether it be for occupancy sensing, whether it be for light control, whether it be for HVAC control, or anything like that, then, or even security, so CCTV, the barriers at the front door here today, you're going to make some specific decisions around these particular points. How long do you need it to last for? Cost is really associated with all of these, but it's a big part of the decision that you make. How much is it going to cost? If you had a bottomless pit of money, then Ramsey, you'd have put everything in, right? You'd have got a bespoke system that would have told you everything that you needed to know, that would have identified where it is in the building autonomously, given itself a name that is relevant to the room, based on, let's say, Bluetooth beacons or something like that. And you would be able to get all of your information in one place at the click of a button. Right? That's not the reality, though, is it? You do have to factor in installation. How is it installed? it comes back to, again, one of your points, Ramsey. If you're retrofitting, then, do you have to run cable, or is it using existing cable, and is it wireless? If it's a brand new building, then yeah, again, you go with installing the necessary infrastructure that you need. What are the features? Is it secure? That's a big thing these days. Obviously, it's always been a problem, or it's always been a consideration, but especially these days. So, I like this quote. There's loads of them about future predictions for technology. I guess the point is that no one can predict the future. No one predicted the internet. No one predicted smartphones. It's impossible. But I guess there are some decisions or some things that you can assess, or some attributes of a potential supplier that you can assess that give you a better chance of having your system last for longer. Experience and pedigree. So this is really about, can you trust that the person, the supplier that you're looking at, is able to do the job? Do they have a system that actually does what they're telling you it does? Can you tell that from anywhere? Or are they just coming and telling you, yeah, it does this, yeah, it does that, just to sell you some hardware, or just to get the foot in the door? If it is a brand new system, then have they got any other systems that they've developed or that they can reference that are relevant, that give you the feeling that that they're not blowing smoke where it shouldn't be? But fundamentally, the cost of being on the bleeding edge of smart building technology can be quite significant. Another option, or another attribute, is the approach to integration. So, it comes back to the point of not being able to have everything in one place. You're not going to be able to find a single supplier that gives you everything that you want for a smart building. So, how do they approach their integration? How do they approach other systems, and allowing data and control to pass between the two? And really, it allows for you to spread the risk as well. So, you're not just, when Harvard technology goes bang, then, you're not left there with a system that you can't support and that no one else can support for you. It allows for, as well, the possibility for you to work with that supplier to build new features and new integrations in the future when it's developed, when it's invented. An upgrade path. So really, you want to be looking at a supplier that has a clear roadmap, a clear idea about where their product is going, and is able to articulate that in a way that delivers regular system updates. They don't have to be frequent, again, to Ramsey's point, but you don't have to be releasing things every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. It's just got to be regular. And it gives you that understanding that actually your technology partner is in it for the long term and is constantly looking for new ways to improve their system, to bring in new technologies into their system that breathes new life into your building and into your installation. Fundamentally as well, you've got to look at how those upgrades are delivered. Are they over the air? Do you have to do them? Do you have to physically attend every device and do something with it? Is there support from the supplier for it? Does it cost you to upgrade that system? And the continued success of a solution relies on on a supportive and forward-thinking supplier in that way. So I've probably come well under the time.
No, you're good.
But yeah, just to reiterate those points. Oh, there we go. Just to reiterate those points, you know, the history and pedigree of a supplier allows you to mitigate some of the risk of being on the bleeding edge of technology, if that's where you want to be. I mean, you know, you don't have to. Successful integration between technology partners can dramatically increase your potential for the building and your technology in it to grow with you and the purpose for that building. And then finally, the continued success of the solution relies on a supportive, forward-thinking supplier. That's me. Any questions?
Thank you.